Hello, all. I am so excited to have you all here with us today to talk about our latest integration with AR Pay. I'm Tiffany Hall, the Chief Growth Officer here at Aesthetic Record, and I am joined today by the Chief Product Officer and co-founder of PatientFi, Derek Hogue. And we are here today to talk to you about our newest integration, which really marries together two of our existing integrations, well, now new in PatientFi, but also Aspire, to bring together this really cool sort of triangle of good fortune for your patients. So it's going to bring you some opportunities now to really leverage your Aspire Rewards opportunity, but also PatientFi and their patient financing options, which are best in class, great rates, super easy to do in Aesthetic Record, no friction at all. We're going to go through all that today from start to finish and give you a really good idea about how this whole thing works, how to turn it on in your system, and to get started ASAP with PatientFi. So Derek, welcome to our webinar here. Say hi to our audience.
Hey everyone, so great to be here today. Appreciate the time to be able to show off some really hard work over the last 6 months. Aesthetic Record, Tiffany, been an incredible partner. We were able to take, just the years that we've been working on our integrations and some of the cool innovation that we've created, and you guys with open arms have taken that integration and kind of taken the way financing looks with loyalty platforms and EMRs into this really beautiful ecosystem. So great to be here today.
And I would be remiss to mention it's the first of its kind too, Derek, which I think is really cool. We've not seen this anywhere. It's really bring together the loyalty part of it with also patient financing, because our goal, as I'm sure yours is to help our practices to drive more revenue, get more business, generate more leads, get them in the practice for a successful, in our case right now, a successful Q4, but also just long term. So this is a really cool opportunity for us to do that, and I'm thrilled to get us kicked off and get us started and really show you about the smarter way to scale. So we'll pull up a few slides here, and we're going to make this really interactive between Derek and I, but also if you guys have questions, put those into the chat or the Q&A at the bottom. Let us know. We're answering those in real time. We'll kind of get those to you via text. And if we don't know the answer right now, we'll get that back to you for sure. But if you have a question, let us know. So first of all, I love the idea of this webinar, the smarter way to scale. That's our goal here, your goal as well. So we want to help our practices to grow. And we're going to go through today a couple quick things. So financing, just in general, why you need it, why you got to have it. I think it's so critical for your practice in 2025. Without it, it's just hard to compete because people really want this. So financing and rewards, how that all works together in one really nice, seamless process. Also convert more. We want you to get all the conversions, but also you're going to have some savings as well. We've got great rates for you and for your patients. And the goal, again, is to leverage what we have with Aspire, with PatientFi together for some really, really good, I would say best, most awesome rates you'll ever get in your whole life for patient financing, but also to really flip the switch and start earning like right now, today, get this thing turned on for you in your practice ASAP. So we're going to go through all that along with a live demo at the end to kind of walk through what this looks like for you to actually turn it on inside of Aesthetic Record, and then to go through the payment process really step by step, so you can see what your patient sees, but also what you see in the system as your patient completes their payment. So, Derek, I'll turn it over to you.
Go back to the other slide.
Yeah, sure.
I cannot miss that little blurb that we have on the right side too.
Yes.
So we are offering for the first 300 practice that integrate and enroll with PatientFi and Aesthetic Record a $100 gift card. So it'll be a little bit of race after this webinar is finished, but I just wanted to highlight that because we think it's an incredible promotion that we're giving for anyone who wants to take the stab and really experience this full integration.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit. It's a win-win-win. So taking us through really the whole financing part of it, Derek, give us some ideas about how PatientFi works compared to perhaps just general financing overall, but also in the aesthetics world.
Yeah, I think the title of this slide is Meet PatientFi, and I'd be remiss to not highlight what's kind of in that bottom left-hand corner. We are one of the highest rated patient financing companies in this space. And that's very important for our clinics. That feedback comes from our clinics. That feedback also comes from our patients. So you have this peace of mind that when you recommend PatientFi in your clinics, in your practices to your patients, they're going to get an experience like no other. So I'm going to always refer back to that kind of 5-star Google review because it's incredibly important to us. It's incredibly important to our practices and our patients. So let's start with supercharging the conversions. Like Tiffany said, in this day and age, if you're not offering patient financing in your practice, you're missing the ability to upsell, you're missing the ability for folks to maybe take advantage of packages that are a little bit more expensive, and PatientFi can help with the affordability side. We make our application extremely quick, so there's no hard credit checks. Our application takes about 30 to 60 seconds for you to get through. We're going to give you instant approvals up to $50,000, and every approved patient gets a 0% offer. So we're providing terms, speed to your clinics, to your practices that allow your patients to kind of buy deeper. Now I want to switch to the savings, right? We like to reward our practices that do patient financing volume with PatientFi. So there are ways for your practice to continue to do patient financing with PatientFi, where we're going to give you bonuses at the end of quarters up to 3.5% cash back. We also have a really good integration with Aspire and Galderma on the platform with Aesthetic Record, and you could take advantage of 0% fees when you're using Galderma products within the Aesthetic Record PatientFi ecosystem. So there's lots of ways for your practice to save. And then kind of moving to that last box on the right, a true growth partner. We look at our practices in the way that a partnership is sort of founded on. How can we allow your practice to grow through the resources, the expertise that our team has? So when you apply with PatientFi, your patient's going to have that exclusive wallet to be able to spend in your practice. We do 360-degree marketing, retargeting campaigns, custom social media. Our marketing team is fantastic, and our PSM group is top-notch. So you're going to have folks that are dedicated to your practice that you can speak with on how to grow patient financing in your practice, so you can take advantage of those larger packages, those reoccurring treatments, repeat business. This is the bread and butter of PatientFi, and we want you to meet some of the amazing people that we have at PatientFi.
So I'm going to jump in here real quick before you do that, Derek, because I think there's some things that we should call out here that are really monumental for the industry. First of all, $50,000, that's huge. That's a big one. So that's a pretty significant. If you're getting $50K in facial injectables, then call me. The other part of that is the 360 marketing approach, that you're actually helping to push this for the practices, push this forward. I think that's the thing that we have not seen in many of our partners at all, is that you're also taking up the mantle to say, let us help you to market this and to help you to push this with your patients, push it forward. Big deal. The 0% with Galderma, like, that's an enormous opportunity for our clinics. We have the Aspire integration, as you know, it's already part of your workflow, of your practice. That is massive. So I just want to take a second with this to say there's really, in each bucket here, a big part of this, a pretty significant amount of money up front. You've got the 0% option with Galderma. Then you have this really awesome, like, tailored strategic marketing partner helping you push this forward. So I think those are just really important things to call out that is unique to PatientFi and how you guys come to market. And I think it's really important to let our practices know. Don't forget those things. So carrying on.
All right, I'll take this slide too. So let's double click into some of that stuff you just highlighted around the marketing efforts. So what does that look like for your practice? When you sign up and enroll with PatientFi, you're going to have a dedicated practice success manager that has a direct line to our marketing team. We're going to meet with you and talk with you about promotions that you can offer within your practice that's going to utilize that PatientFi wallet. So you did talk about the $50,000. That is a lot to get on one day for your face, but it's more about the repeat business. So with these marketing campaigns that we're helping to build with you, you can target repeat customers. You can target those customers for the first time, and they can come back and utilize that $50,000 wallet for additional treatments and procedures that are going to come down the line. We offer these seasonal and kind of procedural specific promotions. They come in different times of the year, and we're going to proactively reach out to you with these campaigns. We elevate all of the marketing. We innovate on the marketing that we're working on each and every quarter, and we want you guys to have the latest and the greatest right from our marketing team. And then we can also do website implementation. So a really powerful way that practices can reach their patients that maybe just at home, they're looking at their websites, and maybe they're interested in a package that they can't afford. We can implement on your website a patient financing page that illustrates the ability for you to have a wallet in that clinic and be able to use that wallet over time. So you can call our teams, call our practice success managers, and our marketing team will get in there and implement websites that will allow you to sort of build your business from your website via financing while you're working in the clinic.
Love that. While you're busy doing what you're doing, PatientFi is working for you. So I'm going to kind of walk through a little bit with the Galderma PatientFi Advantage, because I think the Galderma integration was such a critical part of our whole system a few years ago, and is our probably most widely used integration that we have. And if you're already using the Aspire integration, you're good to go. If you're not using it yet, you need to go into your settings and turn it on, because when you use the Aspire integration, we're talking to Aspire for you, for PatientFi, all on everyone's behalf at the same time, to make sure that when the patient comes in using a Galderma product, if you've qualified for this 0% option, you get it. So that when you have in your cart, Restylane, Dysport, whatever the product, Sculpture, whatever they are that you have in your cart, if you're part of the Galderma promotion, you get the 0% financing for the year, that we actually apply that to your cart based on the Aspire integration working for you on your behalf. So it's already embedded in AR, it's already part of your workflow. There is literally no additional work at all for you. If this is already turned on, then we will do the work in the back end. We'll take care of all of it for you. You just put the stuff in the cart, you hit the checkout button, you use PatientFi as your checkout option, and we've done it all for you. So it will still report the points for the patient, whatever they've actually received that day, to the Aspire program. It will redeem any coupons that you have, any HCP coupons that you have. The whole redemption process works identical to the way it's always worked, but you also get the benefit of using your financing option with that 0% financing. So again, redeem, the tracking, everything is done for you seamlessly, no additional effort on your part, and it's exclusive to PatientFi. So this is only part of the PatientFi relationship. So if you're wanting to take advantage of this amazing 0% offer, you've got to do that through the Aspire integration in our system, making it really simple for you and for your patient, but also it's only here. So you can't get anywhere else, which is great. So you can take advantage of it in this system, in this integration. So if you don't have it turned on yet, there's lots of articles in our system about how to do it, but just go to your integrations tab within settings and turn on your Aspire integration right now. So big, important part of it. Any thoughts on that you want to add, Derek? Anything that's important on your end? I know that you guys have worked with Galderma for quite a while, and it's been a successful partnership for you guys as well. So we're glad to offer it here with AR.
It is probably one of our most important partnerships that we have with Galderma, and now we have Aesthetic Record in the mix. I feel like there's a mindset that Aesthetic Record has on the provider, PatientFi has on the provider and the patient, and Aesthetic Record. So it's this beautiful mix with the three companies working together to offer best-in-class integrations and best-in-class pricing also. So if you're a practice that's using Galderma products, it's a no-brainer. You're going to add that Galderma product inside of Aesthetic Record. We're going to reduce the fees and allow you to kind of save even further than you already are. Very excited about that.
Which is a win-win, right? It's great. So at the end of the day, the goal for us is to offer you more as a practice, more options for conversion, for lead generation, for hopefully bigger tickets, bigger invoices, but it has to be simple, and we know that. If it's not easy for you and simple for you, it's just not feasible, right? You're seeing a patient every hour or even more per hour. You've got front desk, you've got things going on with consultations and upsells and marketing and all the things going on. It has to be easy and it has to be disruptionless for the practice. And so one of the great things here is it's all done within the portal. And if you've used any of our integrations before, you know that's really important to us. Never leave the portal. You're going to do the whole checkout process inside of AR, but you're also going to be able to do the pre-qualification inside of AR. You're going to be able to see the wallet amount inside of AR. You can see what they actually have in their PatientFi balance. You can see an as low as option inside of AR. You can do the entire thing soup to nuts inside the system so that you're not having to go sort of fetch a different website somewhere else and see if they've gotten approval yet, if they've got any money on their account yet. It's all going to be in one really streamlined workflow for you, because if it's complicated, you can't do it. We know that. If it's complicated, it becomes too chaotic for you in the practice and you just can't get it done. So ideally, your front desk person, when the person walks in the front door and says, I'm here for my Dysport, can look inside the system and say, oh, you've got a PatientFi balance available. This is a great opportunity for us to upsell or to think about, you've wanted to get your lips done for a while, great. Let's get Restylane Kiss. You already have this, this whole thing is approved, ready to go. Let's go ahead and get it done. So they can all see it as a unified visibility for all in the practice to make sure that we're all on the same page and that it's really seamless and really easy. And again, no double entry ever. We don't want that, because data starts to leak out. You start to get inaccuracies, and that's a no-go for all of us. We want it to be very, very one record, one source of truth for you and for your patients. So It's all again in the wallet. It's all there. Really nice. And as they get pre-approvals done, pre-qualifications done, you'll see that come into the wallet pretty much instantly. So you'll know they have a balance available inside the wallet to use. So if they're doing it in a chair while they're getting numbed up, whatever the timeline is for you, I mean, it's pretty quick. It's a few seconds. So it's not going to take like some 30-minute window for them to get pre-approved, to get sent back into AR. It's going to be pretty quick. So if they're in the practice, in the waiting room, again, in the chair getting numbed, waiting for you to come back and do the massage after some Sculptra, whatever that is for you, whatever that timeline is, if you've got a few minutes to get it done, it's a very fast application as well. So the patient's not doing like a laborious, 57 screens, all these click-throughs. It's quick and efficient. So we want it to be quick, but also never leave AR so that you don't have to worry about tracking things down in other places. And feel free.
I think that never leave AR is an important fact, right? For especially PatientFi, if you think about all these years that we've been working on financing and all the wonderful functionality that we build in our platform, but we hear it all the time. These practices are spending most of their day with an aesthetic record. They're spending most of their work there. So why not take all of this amazing functionality that PatientFi has built over the years? You guys, with arms wide open, took that functionality and made it so that practice and clinic does not have to leave your system. And we're very open to that. We love it.
Simple is better. That's the KISS method. There's something to that. Keep it as simple as you can, always. So here is the way that the application process works. And Derek, you're probably better poised to discuss this than I am. But ideally, if you're in the clinic and a patient says, I don't have this yet, I don't know anything about financing, I'm not aware of what you have as an option, within the patient's wallet, there is a link, and I'll show you this in just a second, to pre-qualify, that you will send out to that patient. When you click on the link, it goes to their phone number, and they go through the entire process for the pre-qualification, which again is not a hard credit check. There's nothing on the credit until they actually take out, quote unquote, the financing or the loan with your practice. So
we actually do a soft check all the way across the board, Tiffany, just to kind of jump in there. It is soft check across the board, yes.
So even when they take out the actual credit.
Yes, correct.
Oh, that's unique. Well, they're going to do all of this really on their phone. It's really optimized for their device, so there's no need to like go to the desktop. It's all pretty phone optimized. They're going to do the whole thing, get it done, and then once they do that, again, it's pretty quick. So again, it flows in to the patient's phone, they do it, it flows back out to AR, you see it show up there. It really is, I wouldn't say instantaneous, that would be unfair to our technology gods, but it is pretty darn quick that you'll get to be able to see it within a few seconds after it's done. So, anything you want to add there? I think that, if you're looking at your request or your appointment confirmations, your appointment reminders, putting that link there, putting in some reminder there about patient financing is the key. Whether you're using LeadAR for that and you're doing some text blasts, you're doing an email blast for a newsletter, you're doing a social media post, letting your practice audience know that this is now here and that you have it and the benefits to using it, I think is really, really important. There's information everywhere about patient financing, but how do you make it specific to your practice? Benefits to come to you to get this done. I think marketing it directly for your practice is really, really important. That way patients realize it's part of what you offer, not the masses. And so I do think if you're going to turn on any kind of financing option, period, you've got to let people know you have it and normalize it. And then when they come in the front door, talk about it. From the minute they get there in the practice, you start talking about it, reiterating it, because even if you have tons of money, lots of money, it's oftentimes the preferred option because it's better than a credit card processing rate, and it's just easy. Why not do $200 a day versus $5,000 a day? It's just an easy thing for people to do. So I think you've got to make it easy for them to say yes, to get the application done, but then to know you even have it at all in the practice is really, really important.
Practices and clinics are extremely busy. We're relentless about making this transaction and application process as fast as possible. We know those patients are staring at you. You have a line there. So the quicker you can get them in and out, utilize their PatientFi wallet, have them apply, we will relentlessly be making that process even faster and quicker, and Aesthetic Record is helping us all along the way.
And the good news is, I think to your point about the patient having a soft credit check, if they preemptively pre-qualify and choose not to use it, no harm, no foul, but the option to even do it, to say, hey, let's see what you could do. Let's see what your options could be if you were to use this. I think that's a conversation that we often don't have because it's just like, let's not even bring it up. I want to know what all my choices will be for payments, right? What could I do with a payment? And especially before I go into the actual room and start getting a treatment, if I've been wanting something so badly for so long and thought it was out of my reach financially, and then now I know that I can get it because I have this awesome ability to pay it incrementally over time, maybe I say yes today. So I think if you're looking at your consultations and driving that invoice amount, that per ticket invoice, hopefully going up, this is a way to do that on the front end, to say when you get in the front door, you check in, have them go ahead and pre-qualify, have them go ahead and hit the link and see what the options are, because you don't know until you know. And then if you do know, I think it's a way to upsell. And I'm not saying give them whatever you can. I'm saying things that they've really wanted, the full face treatment today, or getting the extra lips they've really wanted. You can do the full correction, not just a little bit here and there based on whatever they have in their in their pocketbook. So I think it's just a good thing to do on the front end to get it done. And if they choose not to use it, it's okay. We'll save it for next time. And we'll get it all next time. Exactly. Or me, it burns a hole in my pocket. I got to use it this time. All right, so bigger cases, repeat clients, that's the goal. I mean, to grow a business, you have to have people come back more often and spend more. This is what you can do with that. I think the part of PatientFi marketing for you drives them back into the practice. So if they're not coming in as often as you'd like them to, if they have a balance outstanding and they're part of this PatientFi world, they're going to help you to drive them back into practice with their marketing efforts, which I think, again, huge to have another option for marketing to your patients. But also when they're there, they can spend more money, which is, again, a patient who gets to full correction is more satisfied. We know that. When they get what they really want and they look great, they're happier. They come back more often. To only get 1 cc, they really need to get 2. It's a result, and they don't feel the need to come back in urgently to get to get more things done. So the goal is that they can do more. They can get what they actually need. So again, bigger cases, more invoice amount, but that they're going to want to come back more often because they have a great result. So there's a bigger satisfaction level there that you get when you get what you actually need from your consultation from your provider, saying, you got to get this thing done, Derek. You can't just have 1 cc, you got to have 2. I think there's oftentimes that we've turned away from that, and the patients maybe not as wowed as they could be because they couldn't afford or didn't want to afford what they actually needed to have done. So the goal is that, it's only part of your practice, exclusive to you, your consultation, your patient, your results. It all really, I guess, marries together to be this really awesome thing that you can offer that no one else can. So I love it. I think it's a great option, and I do think with the whole Aspire integration, it makes it really, really unique. But $50K, lots of approvals, very fast, very quick, all in one fell swoop, one great continuous workflow, makes it super simple for the practice and an awesome experience for the patient as well.
I agree. And as you start to build up these different wallets, right, these wallets that are in the AR system, you can target these folks who have spending limits available. So it's not just about today and the transactions you're doing in the office with patient financing. You're also going to have this wonderful spending limit database of patients that are going to come and transact again and again.
Yes, we want them to come in all the time, every day. Because we know that toxin patients are not very compliant. They come in like 2.2 or 3 times a year. We need them to come back more often. And I do think that if you've got an option to get what you want, you'll come back more often. So go through this idea of what others promise. One thing I think is a true integration. We promised that and we delivered that, which I think is really, really big. The one ecosystem, one end-to-end process from deciding I want to become a patient in your practice and coming in, hopefully because you have options like PatientFi, all the way through repeat visits. We're going to help you really manage the whole process, either from a marketing standpoint in PatientFi or also just from the side of AR with the wallet, looking at a very visible amount of money that's left over for them to spend, to in a sense, like we can look at repeat visits and who's not coming in and what are the marketing opportunities for us to say, come back in, come back in. I think the whole thing from start to finish, really all in one place, makes it easy for you as a practice to look at your numbers, look at your VIP patients, who's coming in, who's not, and really segment that to strategically bring them back into practice to get more things done, which we hope is going to be the case always. And also, I think profit maximizing, gosh, Derek, the rates are so good. Give me an idea of the patient rate. So one of the things we get asked all the time is, what is my patient going to pay? Are they going to be getting gouged? Because I'm getting a great deal with my 0% financing, but what is the patient going to experience on their end? So can you give us an idea of kind of what the patient rates look like?
Well, we think our tagline at PatientFi, the friendly way to pay, is not just words, right? We want to offer our patients best-in-class products and terms that are available to them so they can afford to pay for the things they want. So our interest-bearing loans, they go as low as 6.99%, but we are offering a 0% offer to all of the applicants. So you're going to have choices. You're either going to choose that really low interest rate, or you could take advantage of the 0% offer, and that's going to go to all of your patients. And we think that's very important. We think that not all of the lending companies are doing that out there. PatientFi is. We want those terms to be available to your practice because it is the friendly way to pay.
So it could be 0% for the practice and the patient.
You got it.
Awesome. And in a perfect world, I mean, what you hope would happen is that a patient comes in and says, I've got coupons. I've earned some Aspire money. I've got $100 off my Aspire treatment. I also have some coupon that I, buy one, whatever, get something from Galderma. So I've got my discounts that I can apply. I also have just some points that I have accumulated, and I also have PatientFi and can do my redemption along with my financing. What a perfect world for the patient, because then we're going to build loyalty in that way, because we have now this great discount that we're getting from Aspire, but also we have this great financing option from you. Practice has 0%. Everyone's happy. I think if we look at practices growing in 2025, it has to be a win-win-win, right, for all involved. And I think this helps patient win and practice to win. But I do think I would not discount the fact that if you've got the Aspire monies in there, right, getting the discount and having a great financing option at the same time for a patient is like a shock and awe or a surprise and delight that you're going to get both things. So I think that there's some kind of magic that we have there, some underlying magic that you can really leverage for your patients to say, yeah, when you came here, you got all these things, because it's not happening in other places, as we know. So I'm a big believer, as you know. And as far as your next steps, super easy to do. If you already have PatientFi and you're wanting to use it inside of AR, I'm going to walk you through the enrollment process. You're just going to connect it into your system. It is so easy. So if you're already using it, first of all, kudos to you. You know the benefits here. We're going to just get it locked into AR and get you signed up. If you're not using it yet, you're going to see a place inside of AR, I'll give you that as well, where you can actually sign on and go through the process to send out to PatientFi that you want to get enrolled in the program, and they'll reach out and get everything all done for you and get it all worked out and get you ready to go, and then we'll get you immediately linked back into AR. So they'll be able to send us some things to get you linked into AR, and you'll be able to start transacting immediately. And then you'll start to just launch this. What's it going to look like for you? What is the workflow for the practice, for the front desk, for the provider, who's going to talk about it, when they're going to talk about it, what's the marketing campaign look like? I would say if you do this and turn it on, to get quick success, plan that out. To turn it on inside of AR is a pretty simple process. To get PatientFi to open an account for you, pretty easy process. But the actual execution of it is where you have the chances for things to not go quite as smoothly. And so making sure that you know who's going to be leading this in their practice, who is kind of in charge of this marketing campaign, the verbiage, whatever the company line is going to be on how you talk about it, get that nailed down so you can talk about it with patients on day one from the very beginning, and then just start transacting and watch in Business Insights, watch the numbers grow, watch your transaction volume grow, and then ideally if you're part of the Galderma processing benefit, you're going to see that you're getting all this great lead generation, conversion without paying an arm and a leg in processing rates, which is even better. So you can see the revenue grow without having to pay all the fees that you pay traditionally for other partners. So big benefit to you. But I'm going to walk through how to get this whole thing turned on here. I'm going to switch over to a live demo and give you an example of how that works. So Derek, if you want to add anything else while I do that, feel free to jump in. I'm going to get our screen switched over.
That sounds great. I just want to highlight, maybe you alluded to this sort of marketing efforts that we have. I would encourage any practices that sign up for PatientFi today. Immediately, you're going to go through a process where you're going to be connected with one of our practice success managers. Talk to them about your business. Ask them questions about different promotions that they can offer as it pertains to monthly payment. Those PSMs are the best partners, I think, in the industry when it comes to patient financing. And the two pieces working together, our practice success team plus your team, and the marketing efforts that you can offer your patients, we think best in class. You're going to drive business into your practice by utilizing these campaigns that we have to offer.
I agree, you guys are the experts. So leverage your resources. I know that we're sometimes scared to ask for help, but leverage your resources. Well, I'm going to walk you through. I have a demo account pulled up here that is not very sexy, I'll tell you that right now, but it'll get the job done. So if you are in your account and you have never had PatientFi before, first of all, you're about to have your mind blown, but if you haven't had it before, I'm going to walk you through how to do that. So you're going to be in your dashboard, go to your little settings tab, you're going to come over here to your integrations tab, and then scroll down till you see PatientFi right here, and you'll notice you have your toggle is turned off. So right now you got nothing going on yet. Toggle this on, and you'll see a little prompt here that says enroll now. If you have questions, you want to know more about PatientFi, you want to really get the whole nuts and bolts and the P's and Q's, you can click on this PatientFi link here, need help, and get more details. But if you're like, you know what, I feel pretty good about this, I'm ready to rock and roll, click on your Enroll Now button. And if you've not yet opened your account, click on the Enroll Now option, and you'll go through a few little quick questions here, and that will get sent to their team. They'll reach out and get this approval, I don't know if I shouldn't call it approval, but get your account set up within PatientFi. At that point, you'll have credentials, and you'll be able to log back in to that same screen once you get your credentials done. And instead of hitting the Enroll Now, you'll just log in here, and we'll instantly connect your account into AR. So basically, if you don't have it yet, click enroll now, go through the screens, and they'll get that set up with you. And then once you're set up with PatientFi, you'll get credentials to log in, and you'll connect your account, just like your actual PatientFi credentials. You'll use those same credentials inside of AR to connect it. I'm going to use a different account to show what it looks like after it's already been connected. So let me switch over to a different account. And Derek, if I misspoke at all, please jump in and let me know.
No, you're nailing it. We wanted this to be as easy as possible. I know there's certain integrations where you have to cut and paste an API key back and forth. We got some great feedback from the aesthetic record team on what could PatientFi do to elevate that and make it even easier. And we think the easiest way is your login. There's lots of other platforms out there. Google's one of them. You can use your Instagram account to log into different places. We wanted to do the same thing. And that was some great feedback we got from you guys. And our development team built that tool to make that integration as easy as possible. So come back, log in. We'll do all the nerd stuff in the background to get the two platforms talking.
The nerd stuff's what I like. So once you've done that, once you've signed on and you've gone through your login part of it, you're going to see here your clinics. So this is your big login. This is all the clinics I have in this one account. So I've got a lot of them, a lot of bad names, a lot of trash demo clinics. But then you're going to see here, as far as the locked in names, like you see here, ARSTG1, these are the actual clinics coming from PatientFi. So let's say you're a 10 location clinic. You'll see all 10 of your locations, if that's what you've used when you're signing up with PatientFi, locked in. You're going to match them all to make sure that if you say Lovely Lines Detroit, you have Lovely Lines Detroit matched. So take a second to just double check that you've got the right location matched. So again, the ones that are locked in here, their info, those are going to be your clinics at PatientFi that you've already signed up. And then you're going to use your little scroll here to find the right one inside of AR to match to it. For bookkeeping purposes, it's very important that you get them matched in the beginning correctly. And then as you add new ones here, you can just go ahead and enroll new practices. So they'll log back in, we'll re-sync it again and say, if you've got practices that you've added to PatientFi that we don't see yet in AR, just re-sync, re-log in, and we'll get those populated here for you. So it's very simple, it's just a matching A to A and B to B, and at that point you hit save and you are locked in. So as you transact in those practices, when you look at the clinic on your invoice, it's going to match this clinic. So if I'm going to, in my case, if I'm going to transact at Beautiful Aesthetics Academy in my invoice, it's going to connect in PatientFi to the back end of ARSTG1 is my clinic name. So again, whatever your AR name is for the invoice, it doesn't really matter. It's like sort of a it's a moniker. It's just a name that we're holding, like your actual clinic name inside of AR. What you care about is where it's being funded on PatientFi, because you might be funding it to a different account, different bank account, however that's set up on the PatientFi side. So again, important to make sure they match, because you want to make sure that the AR books match the PatientFi books whenever you look at where the money is going and where it's getting deposited. So take a second and make sure you do that. But pretty simple. If you ever toggle it off, don't panic. We'll toggle it back on, get you logged back in. It won't hurt anything if you hit the button. Life is okay. You're good. You see, it all came back the way it started. So if you have a panic moment, let us know. We'll help you get through that. Alrighty. So I wanted to take you guys through what a transaction looks like. I'm going to have a little bit of magic here, but I'm going to at least get you to the point where you can see how to go in and actually choose PatientFi as the amount, or as the option for the payment, and then we'll kind of go through what the screens look like for the patient in just a second. So I've already had one patient that has gone through and had a treatment. I have her invoices in staging, waiting for me to actually pay it. So it's kind of sitting there in that draft mode for us. I'm going to go ahead and have you look at her history first. You can see the way it looks inside of her wallet when she has money to spend. So let me grab her profile here. And I'm going to just keep using the web. It's just easier, I think, to see it's bigger. So ideally that's okay with you guys, but it's the same way on the iPad. You can see the exact same thing. But if we're in her patient profile, so if we go to her wallet, I can look and see what she already has approved, if anything, or if not, I can get her pre-qualified. So in our case, she has some money here, $14,000. So under her PatientFi balance, if you can see that here, she has money already ready to go. So I know if she comes in the front door and checks in for her visit, that she has money to spend in her balance. Now, I can choose to use that. Ideally, if she's here for full face correction, it's her lucky day today. But I can see here that she has things that she can spend today. She's already been approved, pre-qualified, ready to go. Now, conversely, I'll choose someone else who does not have that quite yet. And I'm going to find a patient that's not been pre-qualified. Let me just choose a random person here. If I go to their patient wallet, if they don't yet have PatientFi, you'll see here an enroll option. So I can enroll the patient. So I have a nice little red button here that lets me know to enroll them. I'm going to get new client or existing borrower. I can enroll the patient ASAP. Okay, so if a patient does not yet have PatientFi and you go into their portfolio here, their profile, you're going to see an option to go ahead and send them a link to get them pre-qualified or pre-approved, ready to go for your practice. So if you go into the wallet, you'll see I don't have my little amount. I don't have my $14,000. So go ahead and click enroll button here, and you'll see new client or existing borrower. Put the phone number in, they'll get a text. So if they're an existing borrower, it's connecting their account with PatientFi they already have. If they're brand new and they don't have anything yet, they have no approvals of any sort, you'll put in their phone number here, they'll get a text message, and they can start the whole process from their phone, hopefully while they're waiting for their numbing to kick in for their lips. So click that, hit save, they get the text, and they're able to actually go in and start their whole qualification process. So very, very, very simple. And hopefully, again, if they're sitting there waiting to go with their phone in hand, it takes a minute or two to get them through all the different screens. They'll hit the button, get approved, and you'll be able to see that ASAP. So basically, once you've done that, let's say the patient is approved, they're good. Our friend that had the $14,000, so we're going to go over to her invoice. I've already done a treatment for her, put it to front desk checkout, so she already has a chart ready to go. I think had a Restylane Refine. She's ready to check out, so I'm saying, hey, go to the front desk, get checked out at the front desk. Okay, so I'm going to go into our desktop checkout and find her. Here's her little invoice. Go ahead and hit my checkout button. And once I do that, because we know she already has PatientFi, I'm going to go through my methods here, and you're going to see her balance is listed right here. So you can see her balance without going to the wallet at all. It's listed right here on her little payment method sheet. We can also see her as low as amount here. So it's not going to guarantee for any, you don't see how long or the terms, you just know it could be as low as $32.85 per month given her PatientFi approval. So go ahead and click that. And once you do that and you hit charge, it's going to send out to her an SMS message to start her application process. You're not going to see that right now on here, but you'll see that she'll get her SMS and she'll go through with her phone and do the entire application process, or not application, but the entire confirmation process on her phone to pick her terms, her months, whatever it is that she wants as far as her payment method. If she wants us to do it in 6 months or 12 months or however she wants to work this out on her phone, she'll go ahead and confirm the payment there, save it, and then once it's done, it pushes her to static record and lets us know the invoice has been paid with PatientFi, and you'll see in your Business Insights the amount will show up as a paid invoice. It's paid on the invoice here, and she's basically done with her payment. And you'll see obviously the balance will reduce inside of her wallet by the amount that she's spent as far as her payment method. And you'll see for next time she'll have $14,000 minus her $14.59. So basically the lion's share of the work is on the patient when they get their SMS to actually go in and confirm. One thing I will tell you, just having done this historically with other text-to-pay methods, is the patient has to actually do some work. So if you're sitting here waiting for this to finish, if the patient's not gotten their phone and actually done the whole process and confirmed the payment method, it's not going to work. So just let them know, hey, I'm going to send you the text. Click on that text and you'll go through and you'll go ahead and confirm PatientFi, confirm your payment terms, and as soon as you get that done, we'll go ahead and finish out the invoice. But let them know it's coming so they can go ahead and get it all done on their phone and get it sent through. And really with that's how it works. I mean, it's that simple. And obviously inside of your Business Insights, you're going to see a PatientFi option. So if we go into Business Insights here, into our sales summary, we'll look at this year. I know I've got some PatientFi in here. And if we look at our methods here, you see PatientFi, we've got $35,000 in PatientFi that we've pushed through this year. So you'll see it in Business Insights as a method. You'll also be able to go into your, let's see, if we look at our methods report here, we can see our transaction costs, our processing fee. So you'll know if you've got those qualifying transactions or not. So again, you can use PatientFi with anything. It doesn't have to be with Galderma, but if you use it with Aspire and you have this whole thing worked out with the 0% processing fee, you'll see that reflect here. But let's say that you want to use it with, I don't know, an IV. You can use it with anything, right, Derek? It doesn't have to be an Aspire product. It's just you get a really cool deal if you use Aspire, but you can use it with anything. So you'll see under PatientFi here, you may have, in our case, we've done all Aspire for ours. We have 0% on our processing fees, but if you're not using it specifically for just Aspire, you're going to see that you have processing fees here. That's because you're using it for, again, whatever else you have in your practice, IVs, weight loss, etc., whatever it is that you're using it for. But you'll be able to see here pretty quickly what your processing fees are. Obviously, transaction amount, the number, the actual dollar sign, and then again, if you have any refunds or processing fees, all here pretty buttoned up for you. And that's going to be under your sales tab. You'll see that obviously in your liability payments reports, but also in your sales reports. you can see obviously the total daily sales summary as well. So it's all there for you in BI, really easy to look at, really easy to go through. But again, the big things to know, get signed up. Make sure you have Aspire turned on, by the way, if you're using the Aspire integration. Use Aspire integration, number one, if you want to use the 0% processing. Then go ahead and get your PatientFi integration done. Go into settings, get that turned on. If you don't have it turned on yet, go ahead and hit the enroll button and have their team work with you to get your account set up. Once it's done, you're going to log in and get it connected. And then once you have it connected, you are free to roam. You can start to get patients signed on. You can get them invited in through your enroll option. And then once they're done and they have money in their account, they can start spending it ASAP. Anything I missed, Derek, that we want to touch on before we go?
I know we talked a lot about Galderma products, and it's such a exclusive, awesome offer that's available on platform. But it's worth mentioning too that the processing fees we have for non-Galderma product are industry best. So you can also take advantage of some of the lowest patient financing pricing that's available, all within the aesthetic record platform. So Galderma is great, but the processing fees we charge for everything else are the lowest out there. So that's, I think, worthwhile for your practicing clinics to hear too.
Yeah, you can use it again for anything. It doesn't matter what you use it for. You know, any of your procedures. It's just it's a great deal for Galderma products, Aspire products. But you can use it across the board, no matter what. You know, if it's facials and again IVs, whatever it is, you can still use it. So I think it's a great call out there. I don't want to deter people from using it for everything else. It's not just Galderma, but it is a nice benefit. But use it for everything. And then again, remind us one more time about the $100 gift cards that you mentioned in the very beginning.
Yeah. So for the first 300 practices that sign up for either the integration or they enroll for the first time, we are going to give those practices a $100 gift card. And that's going to go really fast. I know there's a number of people on the webinar today. They're going to be racing. We think it's an awesome, exciting promotion. We believe that this is one of the best integrations we've ever done because of the openness of aesthetic record. And we want to reward those practices who are willing to take the leap and kind of take advantage of best-in-class partnership and integration.
And you're going to see on the bottom of your screen here a QR code. That is a link to all the articles. So we have articles that go through this entire process from start to finish, from getting enrolled to checking out to patient screens to what to expect on the processing side of Business Insights. Literally the whole thing, soup to nuts, is in all the articles, so you can really get a good sense of what you're looking for from the day that you say I want to do this all the way through patients transacting. So if you have any questions, you forget what you're trying to do here, you don't know how you should enroll, go to those articles, look those up. They're in the Learning Lab. You can also just search by PatientFi. Get that information. It'll help you to get everything sort of worked out and done. But if you don't remember and you can't find the articles, go to our live chat. We can help you almost, I shouldn't say 24 hours a day, but pretty close, all day long, every day. But also you can email us as well at info@aestheticrecord.com. We're glad to help you there. Ask your coaches. Whoever works for AR can help you. So if you have any questions, let us know. We're glad to help. But again, the articles they're really, really detailed, and they'll go through the whole process from soup to nuts. So click on those if you need to and get this thing set up. Well, with that, I think we're all done here, Derek. It's been a fun webinar. I'm glad that we got this all out to the masses, and I can't wait to see people start using it ASAP.
And a big thank you to your team, to the development team you have over at Aesthetic Record, the integration team, to our team too. This is one of our favorite implementations we've done so far, and I'm so excited to bring that to the clinics and the practices on Aesthetic Record.
Absolutely, and send us your success stories as you guys start to use this. Let us know how it's working. And we are with their team connected for support, so if you have an issue, we can help instantly with their team, our team as well, so we'll help go back and forth for you. So again, if you have an issue or concern, let us know. We will be glad to help you and get you set up. So with that, we will see you guys all next time, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Tiffany. Thanks, guys.